Hello, Cyndi here with Create Your Own Luck in Love. I am excited to talk to you guys today and open you up during this time of uncertainty, right? Um, something that I know when it comes to dating and relationships, so many of the women that I talk to and the women that I work with get a lot of anxiety around the person they're dating, the person they like, in different stages of relationships and dating. It can cause a lot of anxiety. Now we add the world. I don't want to say it's collapsing, but it is in a sense. The world is shifting so much so quickly, which creates a lot of uncertainty, which creates anxiety. And then that is a piece that makes us feel naked and vulnerable. Who feels that way? I'd be interested in knowing, like, do you feel naked and vulnerable right now? And many people have lost their jobs, and you know, I am committed today to give you guys 3 steps that are essential in not only taking care of yourself and opening your heart to love in dating and relationships and really adjusting to your new normal. It's interesting. About literally 5 minutes ago, I found out that there is a statewide, I don't know what it's called. It's basically quarantine. So you are not to leave your house unless it's essential. And I want my child to go outside and play, or I want to take a walk. And so, it raises questions and it can raise anxiety levels, right? And I, I always look at what's the silver lining here. I'm pretty sure I can go outside and take a walk. And I'm pretty sure, we can go to the store and things like that. But the point being is that we get to learn to be calm and self-soothe in a time of uncertainty. So number one, if you are financially in a strange position, our government is providing loans, grants, money to, there's all kinds of opportunities for small business owners and individuals, single or with a family. So there is help, there is relief, and I know that many credit card companies, as well as mortgage companies, are giving leniency for the next few months. So, and I don't like to speak into fear. It's looking at what's real and looking at opening yourself up to what's happening, right? We all know. So, how do we proceed in opening your hearts in dating and relating in this time? That is the $1,000,000 question. So whether you're in a relationship or you're dating, it proposes some interesting dynamics, quite frankly. If you're in a place where you're dating and maybe you're on the apps, more people are on there than ever, and men want a relationship as much as women do. And many, men are approaching me and talking about, like, these awakenings they're having. And, many people are looking at what is important to me, which is great. And the way that I feel about this time is that many love stories can be birthed through this time. And here's why. So if you are on a dating app and you're virtually chatting with somebody, and then you move to a phone conversation, and then you move to a FaceTime chat or a Skype chat or a Zoom chat, what happens is you then grow momentum and connection without all the disruption of the physical intimacy part, because many people feel pressured around that. And a lot of people want to go there because it's a connection, right? It creates connection, but mostly a false sense of connection, especially if it's done too soon. So, but if you want to do that and you're in that place, go for it. No judgment here. And if you're in a place where you want to create a real significant relationship in your life, I recommend swiping and swiping right and talking to people, connecting with them, and coming into your conversations, especially when there's all this uncertainty into the world, with what's in the silver lining. Talking about, what it is you see that is a benefit from this. And you can watch how that other person is, right? If they're a Debbie Downer and in this fear place, and you are committed to a higher frequency of receiving love, chances are that's where they go in these times, and they're not committed at this point to shifting. There's a lot of conversation around the pivot of, who are you in times of, emergency? Are you urgent? Are you shifting? And this is one of those where you're either cocooned by yourself and you get to get creative about your connections, or you are with people, you're in relationship, and that creates a whole new level of things. There'll be many people splitting after this time or coming even closer together on, creating an even deeper bond and connection, because I guarantee you this is what happens. So envision, so that's the first step. So there's a lot of financial resources out there. So you know that, and you don't need to worry. So the next thing is, I work with so many women that have anxiety at certain points in their dating relationships. And they will go into a place of desperation and neediness without even knowing it. So it's kind of like when you feel desperate and needy for anything in your life. And so that energy is more, it gets into a place of playing games, manipulation, not being, therefore you're not really being fully authentic with sharing what you'd like to see happen. So most of the time what comes up for many women is, he's not calling as often as I like, or messaging as often as I like. And then your mind starts to wonder, thinking, is he talking to 5 other girls on Hinge right now? Well, he might be. And if you're not in a committed relationship, assume that, but don't assume it from a place of I'm not enough. Assume that if you are feeling a connection and he's shared with you that he feels a connection, and I'm talking especially during this time, then you get to trust that he's there, and he continues to show up. That's what happens. There's a great foundation that can be set with all of this happening. And there might be a man that you connect with, that you feel a great connection with, and he decides to put pressure on you to actually see one another. And you really want to follow the social distancing. That's really important to you, and you don't know that it's worth it to go see somebody face to face, and who knows what could happen, and run the risk of spreading this thing, right? So you can see how a person's character is. So if they're so selfish that they want to see you, maybe they want to hook up, who knows what it is, and they can't wait, and they don't care about other people, and they're in that selfish place, well, then you learn a lot of information, right? And so there's different dynamics that are happening out there, and you get to decide, who do I want to show up as, and how can I open my heart and keep it open when potentially I'm feeling anxious about what the next week holds, what the next few months holds. So here's what's great. I know the unknown can be scary, and I get that too. Oftentimes, if I don't know what's going to happen at the end of a certain thing, or don't know what he's thinking, right? Then how do we navigate that? You get to learn to self soothe, and you get to also learn how to share your requests in a way that doesn't come off like you're, and I don't even want to say come off, it doesn't, where you're not sharing it in a way that's coming from a place of manipulation and a needy energy. Many men will repel from that, and they don't even always know what it is, and they can't necessarily explain it to you. They just might pull back. So if you're coming from a place of your own personal power, saying, I love it when I hear from you once a day. It brings a smile to my face. I almost sigh in relief, especially during this time. It feels so nice to have someone, that I'm connected to, that I'm getting to know, that I'm really excited about, right? Or whatever the dynamic is. And you might be thinking, Cyndi, you make it sound so easy. Well, it is that easy if you're being authentic. So here's the deal. I am excited for you guys to really move forward and open your hearts. And if you can do visualizations literally around heart opening activities, and I just like to breathe in and out and close your eyes and focus on your heart. Focus on the breath of your heart. I oftentimes this morning I had a white flower in my heart, and just focus on that opening. And you'll find that you come to peace, and it's much easier. And then you take the pressure off, and actually try not to go out there and be amongst the people too much. And here's why: not only for social distancing purposes, for anxiety purposes. How many of you have been out to the grocery store and it feels anxious? It's hard to read the energy. I was making a joke the other day how there's different types of people where they will not even look at you because of social distancing, or they will smile at you, right? The normal, which is what I would do. Or they'll kind of cover their mouth, or cover their like their body. You can physically see it. So what I'm sharing with you is, especially if you're a sensitive person, and I think I work with so many empaths that, if you're sensitive to energy, make sure that you're also surrounding yourself with people with a higher level of energy. Is that hard to hear me? Maybe it is your speakers, but and a more positive sense of what's happening, right? The silver lining. And if you're watching the mainstream news a lot, that is a place that can depress anyone in 5 minutes. I mean, there are definitely things to listen to, but my point being is you guys preserve yourselves. Do some breathing. If you have a hard time doing meditation, do some heart centered breaths, and it'll help open you up. And then open up a dating app if you're single. And I'm feeling called to focus in on the single people today. I'll talk about relationships later. And you guys, I've got a gift for you. I am doing an all day virtual retreat on Saturday. So you can join me at 10 a.m. Pacific, and I'll be talking about, navigating this on a deeper level and the three pillars that I focus on the most in my coaching programs, which is attraction, what natural and lasting attraction looks like, connection, how to create and maintain deep connection and commitment, what that looks like. So I'll be covering that and also supporting you guys with great material on how to unhook from your blocks, limiting thoughts and beliefs, and really step into this pivotal time where you can fully open your heart and receive the love that I know you're ready for. I'm going to put the link in here in the comment section. There will be limited space, but if you want to join, you can put your name, email, phone number, and you can sign up. Super duper easy. And I'd love to see you there. It's going to be a fun day. We'll have breaks. Bring your favorite candle, a mug, a journal, a yoga mat if you have one. And I'm committed to really opening up your hearts and giving you a big gift right now. Okay, sending you guys so much love. I hope this helped you. And please share this with a woman that you feel could benefit from hearing this message today. The more we spread love, I think the more we receive love. So, loving you guys from my heart to yours and beyond. I will see you soon. I will see you actually tomorrow. Mwah.